Hello and happy new year. I hope your year ahead is filled with peace, abundance, and happiness. So, this year I wanted to try something a little different. Usually with human design, we can't really specify specific types, you could say. So, for instance, what I'm talking about is in astrology, we can say we're going to do year ahead for Pisces, or we're going to do year ahead for Aries, or something like that. But usually with human design, it's difficult. Last year, I did do something just for particular types. But again, we're looking at only four different types, or five if you want to separate the generator types into manifesting generators and generators, which I usually do. So this year, I'm going to talk about the 12 profiles. You can look at this as being an overview of your profile. And why I feel this is important is because as we move to 2027, the more tools we have in our tool belt to assist us in the journey, the better. By understanding your profile and how it operates and how you operate, it's just a small piece of you, but it can really help you in the world because there are energies for discovery, for being called out. There are energies for having the right people around you, being in the right projection field. They're all based on your profile. And if you understand how you operate, what you potentially need, then you are going to be more resilient, more empowered, and be able to navigate whatever changes we have going forward into 2025. Because 2025 is going to be a busy year, especially for the first half of the year. It's going to be potentially a very busy year, potentially chaotic. But within the Gate 36, which will be featured quite a bit, you can have a look at my overview for the year. But within that chaos, or that energy is really telling us what you need to learn, what experiences do you need in your life to advance you forward towards the goals that are part of your trajectory. And so feeling empowered in who you are, feeling empowered with how you operate in the world can give you that step up that can help you to move forward through 2025, and I would say 2025 and beyond. This is why I wanted to make these videos, so hopefully it can help you on your journey forward. Now, what I'm going to do is sort of look at the perspective of the line and where it is in your body graph. This is going to be where we call your personality and also your design. But for simplicity, your personality is going to be considered like your mind, what you're conscious of, what you know. A lot of people call it the conscious. And the design, this is your body and how it expresses in the world. And so we could say that your body is the manifestation of you in the world, and your personality is the mind that is sort of trying to talk to the body. And this is why we talk about authority being so important, because what it actually does for us is it gives our body the ability to make the decisions, because our bodies are manifest, just like the manifest world. And that is the theory. So all the things that I'm going to talk about, if you use your authority and whatever that is for you, then that will be helpful for you moving forward. So I will separate the profile lines, or your profile lines, into your conscious or unconscious, or your personality or your body, which is what I prefer to talk about, because I think that we call the unconscious, the body unconscious, but on the other hand, there are a lot of ways we can get in touch with that other part of us. And it takes more time and effort, and everybody's going to be different in how they discover what their body is telling them. But I think that there are so many subtle cues that we have every day that our body's telling us about certain things. It pulls us towards things. It gives us gut reactions to things that we like or we don't like. It gives us the butterflies. It can tell you when you're starting to feel like maybe you're getting a cold or something. A lot of times we ignore that. It can tell you when you're eating things that it doesn't like. And so if there's anything that we can really connect with in 2025, it is our body. And so that's why I want to use that for each of these particular profiles. So we'll go through each profile and I will talk about sort of the lines and the ways you can use your profile as a guide. But now keep in mind, we could say that there are only 12 profiles, just like there's only 12 astrology signs. So there's a lot more beneath the surface, you could say. The profile is just one part of your body graph. So there's going to be a lot more. So I could talk about a fourth line energy, and you could say, well, I don't really feel that. Well, that's potentially because maybe the fourth line is on your design side. Or potentially maybe you have a lot of third lines in your body graph other than your profile. So there's a lot of ways that it can shift up, and really discovering what your body graph says is more important than anything. But ultimately, it's just a guide to help you discover your gifts and to decide to use them or not. And that's ultimately what it's about. It's not a guide for you to live a certain way or do a certain thing or to conform to a certain way of being. That is never what we want to do. So with that said, let's get into your profile. So when we're talking about a 1-3 profile, that is the beginning of all the profiles. And so we have a 1 and a 3. Now, the first line is going to be connected to your personality. This is your mind. And what this says is that you have a mind that needs information, a mind that needs data, a mind that needs to know how things work, because that is how you build security. We always look at the first line as the beginning of everything. And so if it's in a gate, then it's going to be the beginning of everything. It is where you find out the most information you can find about that particular gate, because your profile line, your first line, is going to be in a particular gate because it's going to be your personality, sun and earth. So what is it that you will find security in? What do you need to know? What do you need to become an authority on? Now, this is not about being authoritarian. Instead, this is about being an authority. This is about finding the information that is most important to you, because that is part of your process. This is about not always believing everybody and what they say and finding out for yourself. And so that is one of the key things to discover for 2025. If things are happening around you, figuring it out for yourself is really going to be important for you so that you can move through with the knowledge you need, the security you need. Because if you don't have that sense of, I know what this means, I know what this is talking about, then there's that lack of security. And as soon as we have a lack of security, then we might hold ourselves in fear, because first line also resonates to the energy of fear. So to eliminate the fear, we know that fear is a source of all intelligence. To eliminate the fear, it is about knowing what you need to know or what you feel will bring you security. Now, of course, there's always going to be things that we can't know, and that is something that we just have to let go of. But if there is information, this is what it's talking about. Discover what you need to know to make you feel more secure. Now, if we pair this up with the third line, we're talking about experimenting with the manifest world. The third line is the ultimate manifestation of the experience of material life. This is about living in a manifest world. And so this is where you can make the most money. So we could say the third line is a gift that comes with this ability to see what works and what doesn't work. Now, the one thing we always know is that in order to find what doesn't work, we need to actually do experiments and experiment with life and move through the world discovering things. And this is a line of discovery. And so this is saying that you're taking all the information, the security that you've built, the data, and you're asking, how does this work in the real world? And this is what you can use to your advantage walking through the world. Now, this is your body. Third line is your body. So in other words, it says that you have a resilience. And so you are hardwired to discover what the world is all about. And that's what the key is with this. So as soon as you stop discovering, as soon as you stop experimenting, then you are not able to live out your purpose, because that's what you're here to do. A lot of times what happens with third line energy potentially is that this you may stop discovering or may stop experimenting because maybe things didn't work out. And you just start to think, oh, well, I made a mistake or it wasn't for me and maybe I need to stop. But that's not the truth. The truth is the only way you can master the material, because this is literally energy for abundance, is to get out in the world and discover what works and what doesn't work. One of the richest people in the world, Jeff Bezos, is a 1-3 profile. And so I think he learned how to master the material. Whether you like him or not is not the point. The point is that is the process to get the data that you need, find the security, do the work to be an authority in something. And then you get out in the world. And again, this is going to be physical because it is your body. We're going to have a lot of experiential energy in 2025. And so this perfectly matches up with your 1-3 profile. So if you're getting the data you need, you're getting the information you need, then you can get out in the world and you start to experiment. You do have the security of the information and the data, then you can get out and find out how it works. And that is how you can bring material abundance into your world, because it's only by understanding what doesn't work that you can understand what does work. With that said, I'm wishing you the best in 2025 and that your year will be filled with success, abundance, and good health. Until next time, take care and bye for now.